What's good, guys? It's your boy CS. I'm making this video today because there's a lot of chatter within the group and even further within Telegrams and Twitters and other socials where the whole markets, not just crypto, but stocks, forex, commodities, etc., the whole sentiment seems to be very, very negative and cynical. And rightly so. There's a number of things that have come out yesterday and the day before that have given this type of sentiment, such as a war looming, an imminent strike from Iran to Israel. The unemployment rates have gone actually higher than what were previously expected. And ultimately, this led to 3 trillion liquidations within the market, or circa around that amount, right? And so how do we react to such events? And I think first and foremost, we'll look at where Bitcoin is, right? And I always say, zoom out so you can see where we are at, right? And we are here in a previous cycle, so we're under the all-time high, ready to smash through it. And very similarly, we're here now around a very similar region where the all-time high can be said to be like 73, right? And if we zoom out, the previous all-time high in November 2021 and October 2021 was 61.4k. And subsequently, since March, we have retested this level and always stayed above it. So where we retested just now, we are bouncing off it. And I'm not saying we can't go down. I'm just saying currently we're actually in a demand zone. This is a demand zone where we ultimately needed to retest. And do you notice that the higher time frame is on a monthly, right? And we are currently on day 3 of within August. There's only 3 days that have literally occurred within August. And they've all ultimately been really hard candles. So this one was a kind of a fake out one. It was a good hammer formation. This one's just taken us down. And then this one today, which has not really started, but we've only had 3 days in August and the candlestick already looks like that. And I'm not saying that it can't go down here, but what I am saying is this level right here is massive support level for Bitcoin on the monthly. And so to realign yourself, coming back to what I want to talk to you guys about today, is ultimately tough times create tough men and women, right? You have to go through a particular calamity in order to bounce back from something. So when the market's getting crushed, right, and we're seeing the fear and greed at 37, oh my God, there's so much fear. Well, these are the opportunities where your mindset, unfortunately, unless you, like I always say to people, unless you've gained experience, you're not going to change your mindset, which we'll come on to a bit later on. But until you have this type of fear within you, you'll never be able to change your mindset and you'll always follow the herd. We don't want to follow the herd, right? But when a calamity does hit you, what do you tend to do? It's fight or flight, right? You either fight, you either put your dukes up, or you run away. And so same thing within the markets. What are you going to do? Are you going to run away, sell your bags? Or are you going to duke up and say, you know what? I'm going to double down on this shit, right? And that's the mentality that I have, where I'm putting my dukes up. And when I say I put my dukes up, I'm putting my fists up and I'm ready to slam down some money, some dough, right, into this and DCA in. And if you're on spot, this is the best way to do it. If you're on leverage, that's a different story. For instance, I put in the Telegram yesterday, I was with my friend and literally while we were sat down, I literally said to him, oh, my Redo long got liquidated. So I lost $3,500 or 4,000 US dollars, just like that, right? Within 3 days, I just lost it because of how the market just treated Redo resistance dog. That's all well and fine, right? And it's about how I bounce back. Am I here moaning and groaning like, oh no, I've lost all my savings and blah, blah, blah. And granted, I may have more money than other people, but still my mentality is the same, which is, you know what? I got to take the L. in life, you have to take L's. You have to take L's in order to grow. If you don't take no L's, you'll never learn anything. And that's why the best of people, whether you want to, we can go into a whole different realm of like Michael Jordan or LeBron, Cristiano Ronaldo. All these great people had to take L's. I'm just talking about sports here, but we could go into other parameters. But my point still stands that you have to take L's in life in order to grow. And how you bounce back is very, very significant because it'll build your character and personality. Hence, the reason why I'm talking like this as well is that you get to a stage where ultimately you become a bit heartless. Not heartless to your friends and family, but heartless within the market, because the market doesn't care about your feelings. And that's where you need to be. So when everyone's like, yeah, Bitcoin's going blah, blah, blah. And remember, on Bitcoin, I was shorting here. I got in at 69 or around there. It was under 70, right? I got in there and I came out at 63. Yeah. I closed my shorts there. And I even said in not my previous video, I think it was the video before that, I believe that Bitcoin can still come here because the weekly is on there. That's a thesis. But because I'm long-term bullish, I don't want to become permanent. I don't want to become a permanent bear, right? So I got out of my shorts here. And so when this came up and it's come back down, I've now entered a DCA in more Brett, right? And so these are the things where you learn. And it's okay to be wrong as well within this sentiment. Like I thought it would go down to 62. I could see a case scenario for it going there. But I got out at 63 on my shorts. So I've still made profit. I could have made way more profit if I left my shorts in. But I didn't feel comfortable in that trade. So therefore, I took it out. Hindsight's a beautiful thing, right? And this is the thing. Like the more you get experience within the markets, the better it is for you to actually come back, for you to bounce back. And so looking at hindsight, it was only 2 to 3 weeks ago, and I'm not going to name names within our group because everyone's, super cool, and I love everyone who is getting involved in our chat, right? And keep it going because it is really helpful for everyone. But some of you were crying out for levels on Brett, for instance, at 0.1 or 0.11. But now we're here. No. 0.9 is next, 0.8, 0.7, 0.6. Like, you've already programmed your mind to follow the herd, that's what is going to happen. That may happen, but you don't know for certain that is going to happen, right? People calling for 48K, people calling for 52K. There's a possibility it may happen, but we're here now at 60K, 61K, where again, people were crying out to buy more Bitcoin, buy more alts. I need it cheaper. But now we're here, all that goes away. And look, fear and greed sends us back to fear. And so this is something that a lot of people, unfortunately, they don't resonate with, where they can't look back in a revisionist perspective and say to themselves, actually, this is a great level. This is an entry level where I want to get in. And that's where we are at within our group, where it's like, yeah, we can DCA in at this point. If it drops lower, we have spare equity to invest again and DCA in again. And that's where, the levels come in, the major levels. Like, I don't need to buy anything more here. Unfortunately, I'd want to get into a resistance dog trade, but I have to check myself and go, yo, do not revenge trade. And that's the mentality that I have to have, right? And so the next point is, one man's old is another man's gold. So people who bought into Brett at like 2 million, sold at 200 million or 800 million, they got out and like, yeah, I'm done with Brett now. But people who got into Brett at 200 million or 1 billion, that's their gold. So one man's old is another man's gold, right? And for me, I got in at 200 million. For me, that's gold for me. That's gold. For people who got in at 1 billion, they're like, oh my God, what an entry that is. But to me, the people who got in at 2 million, I'm thinking what an entry that is, right? And so the cycle goes on and on, where evolution takes place, where the coin will keep on going without you. Life, and in general, life moves on. It goes forward very quick. All these events are all catalysts to make dips, to make retraces within a bull market. And so, look, let's just have, think to yourself, take some time away from the actual charts, right? And just say to yourself, what's actually gone on the past couple of months to like 6 months, right? We've had Metgox, the exchange, paying back their creditors. We've had the German government offloading Bitcoin. We've had Grayscale offloading the Bitcoin on the ETFs that have caused massive dumps. And then I was thinking about stuff like way back when, like in the previous cycle. So there was like China banning. There was the Evergrande real estate, not scandal, but fiasco. There were so many things that had occurred in the previous cycle that I still remember, that I still have not really scars about, but just lessons, experiences about, where they're going to bring up so many different things. Look, the war in Palestine and Israel now with Iran is going to get flared up. There's going to be stuff with Harris and Trump. There's going to be stuff with Russia in Ukraine is going to be quiet, so there's going to be stuff about that. There's always going to be stuff in the world that is going to cause mass hysteria, whether you like it or not. You cannot avoid it. Markets have been going through wars. You do realize, and I want a lot of people to understand, during world wars, the market still went on, right? During the Cold War, even though there was no technical, or let's go with the Vietnam War, whatever you guys may know of, like the any other kind of major war that's happened, right? Over the years, the markets have still operated for hundreds of years. So a lot of people keep saying, if this kicks off between Iran and Israel tomorrow, great. Not great, as in not great like that, but great for those who want to buy. Because historically, these are the best buying opportunities. And all you need to do, I don't know if there's a YouTube video on it about markets and world wars, but it tends to be the best times to buy, right? And so I'm just giving you a history lesson on why you need to check yourself and hold your shit together ultimately, because patience is a virtue. You have to have a lot of patience and a lot of grit and determination, because what will happen is, if you don't, unfortunately, you'll quit. There was one guy in our Telegram who basically, I think he put a trade in and now he's quit. He's not come back because he said he used all his equity for a Moon Boy mission. Unfortunately, I have to say it how it is. And he's now got to pay off the loan. He's got to look after his daughter in a 1-bedroom apartment. Like, shout out to that guy. I forgot his name. But like, I've not seen him in our chat for 2 to 3 weeks since the last crash, since the last retrace. And so this is what I'm trying to get at to you guys, which is always have spare equity. Stop putting all your eggs in one basket. Unless you've got money to play with, always have spare capital. You know my money that I'm investing and I'm showing receipts of, right? I've got spare capital because I've been saving through the bear market. Like, I saved and I worked multiple different jobs, right? And there was a post I put on Twitter about a month or 2 months ago, right? And I said something like, my average day generally is, I'm working like 9 to 8, but really I wake up at like 6, 7. So I start work then. But as an average Joe, so they can understand, I have like 13, 14, 15 hour shifts every day, right? And this was in the bear market. And I accumulated all this money. And still, like, even now I'm trying to earn as much money as I can and move it into crypto as fast as I can as well, right? And so the history lesson comes back to, well, who won the marathon race? Who won that race, right? It wasn't the hare, it wasn't the rabbit, it was the toad or the turtle, right? I don't know why I put toad. I think I've been watching too much Brett. Brett's been all over my mind, the blue toad, right? The turtle won the race, right? It's slow, steady, and you just get in, man. You just get in. You DCA in. It's all I've ever taught you guys, right? And I've always shown my receipts. Even now, I'm still in the majority of my trades. The only one The only one that I've now been liquidated on is Resistance Dog, unfortunately, and I'll look to enter again at some point. Just right now, I'm even surprised myself that Resistance Dog has let's say gone to those levels, right? For them to go to those levels is absolutely crazy. But you know, these are markets for you. These are markets. You have to take what you've got and you've got to move with it. So to summarize, guys, we're going to go back to this one. And these are the points that I want you to nail down to yourself and, you know, hold it together. We might go down lower. We might do. But have your shit together that if it does go down, let's say to maybe 57k is like a nice, good support level without looking at the chart, right? If we break structure fully, right, that's probably the best place to then DCA again. Then where's the next place? 52k Bitcoin. Then where's the next place? 48k Bitcoin. You see, these levels are already in my head. You see that? And I don't even need to go to the chart. I already know those are the support lines without even looking at anything, because I've memorized everything of where to DCA. And same with the Brett chart as well. Like this day, I didn't think would come, but because it has come, I'm willing to put 3 stacks on it. I'm willing to put more money into buying Brett here. And that's where you need to be. All right, guys, hopefully that was helpful, and I'll catch you in the next one.